Presiding Officer. More than 4 out of 5 businesses in Scotland fear they might go bust within 12 months. Around 1 in 6 people in Scotland are trapped on NHS waiting lists, with tens of thousands forced to pay for private treatment. Drugs deaths are still the worst in Europe, with 4,570 lives lost since the SNP declared a national mission. All those issues need the government's urgent attention now. So why on earth did John Swinney give a speech today all about independence?
First Minister.
Well, let me reassure Russell Findlay that all these issues command my attention, and they are the constant focus of the work of my ministers, my cabinet and my own personal attention as First Minister, because, as I said this morning, I am absolutely determined to focus on the priorities of the people of Scotland. And one of the things the people of Scotland are concerned about is their standard of living has been static for most of the last 10 years of austerity bequeathed to us by the Conservative government. And what independence offers for Scotland is a fresh start.
Thank you.
What independence offers for Scotland is a fresh start, and that will be positively welcomed by the people of Scotland.
Russell Findlay.
The title of John Swinney's speech today was "Respecting Scotland's Right to Decide." That's right. This from the party that has never, not for a single minute, respected the decision that Scotland made. He actually said today, and let me quote you because it is absolutely priceless, "You can't just support democracy when it suits you." Well, First Minister, the fringe is over. Enough with the terrible jokes. Scotland did decide. 2 million people voted to reject division.
Correct.
And they're still demanding the SNP give it a rest and focus on what matters. So when will he ever learn to take no for an answer?
First Minister.
Presiding Officer, one of the points I made this morning is that since the 2014 referendum, and by 2030, 1 million individuals will not have had the opportunity in Scotland to decide on our constitutional future. 1 in 4 of the population will not have had that opportunity to decide how this country should be governed. Now, I think when we have a situation with very substantial support in the opinion polls for Scottish independence, with a clearly expressed desire of people to decide on their constitutional future, there should be no roadblocks in the way of the people of Scotland exercising their democratic right to decide on their future. That, after all, is democracy, and I am proud to champion it.
Russell Findlay.
In John Swinney's grand declaration of Leith today, he referenced Scotland's claim of right, and film buffs will know that this nationalist battle cry comes exactly 30 years since the release of Braveheart. He's done everything but paint his face blue, while Scots are blue in the face, saying to the SNP, enough is enough. And I really hate to break it to the First Minister, but John Swinney really isn't William Wallace, and nor indeed is he even Mel Gibson. We know his game. He knows exactly what he's up to. He's desperately trying to get the focus off the SNP's dismal record of failure on the economy, schools, ferries, drugs, crime, health, everything else. So this week, he cynically focuses on independence and international affairs. Isn't it time he get back to the day job?
First Minister.
Well, I was here on Tuesday leading a debate on the government's priorities for Scotland, and in that debate I set out...
Let's hear one another.
In that debate, I set out the fact that we are now seeing inpatient waiting lists falling in Scotland. We're seeing number of GPs increasing in Scotland. We're seeing the number of drug deaths, although far too high, falling in Scotland. we're seeing young people in Scotland. We're seeing young people in Scotland delivering the best examination results since 2019 before the pandemic. I noticed there wasn't a round of applause for the Conservatives for the young people of Scotland delivering an outstanding examination performance. Well, I'm very proud of them and all that they've achieved. So I think what the Scottish Government is doing...
Let's hear one another. Let's hear one another.
What the Scottish Government is doing is delivering on the priorities of the people of Scotland. That's what my government is focused on. And what I want to make sure is that Scotland is not inhibited by the failures of Westminster, and that we have the ability to choose the democratic future of independence. And I'm confident the people of Scotland will make that choice.
Russell Findlay.
Well, Scotland is inhibited by the failures of this rotten government. When John Swinney became First Minister, quite understandably, he tried to present himself as a more decent front, distancing himself from the chaos of Humza Yousaf. But the mask has now well and truly slipped. Despite what he said today, he's not focused on the economy or education or anything else that truly matters to the people of Scotland who pay our wages. Not doing anything to help improve people's lives. The same old John Swinney is back, obsessed with independence, distracted from the day job. Does he not realise that the majority of Scots want to tell him to move on, John?
Okay. First Minister.
Russell Findlay seemed to miss the fact that on Monday the government delivered the abolition of peak rail fares in Scotland, which will help. Well, let me just. Well, while all the shouting is going on, I'll just set out to Parliament.
First Minister. Yep. Sorry, many members wish to put questions today, so let's continue with our business and let's hear one another. First Minister.
So on Monday, when the government delivered on its commitment to abolish peak rail fares, for a commuter travelling from Glasgow to Edinburgh on a daily basis, their travel costs were reduced by 48%. That is an astonishing saving for households in the country, people commuting, and that can't even be welcomed by Russell Findlay today. Now, I don't really think that Russell Findlay is in the strongest position to lecture me today. He just needs to... He just needs to look at the words of his former colleague Jeremy Balfour about how moderate Conservatives feel about the outrageous leadership that Russell Findlay is delivering. What we are seeing in Scotland is Russell Findlay in a partnership with Nigel Farage, and Scotland is going to send both of them packing.